Alrighty, folks, we're back with another new album review, and today we have for you the latest from epic heavy metal outfit out of Chicago, Fer de Lance, Fires on the Mountainside. These guys, I believe they were formed in 2019, 2020. They released an EP in 2020 called Colossus. Then they released their debut in 2022 called The Hyperborean. And now we have Fires on the Mountainside. There's that. Little design back there. Little sun looks like. The booklet. Lyrics. Couple of photos. Couple of ruins. Action shot. Some band photos there. Let's see, we have MP. That's what he goes by on vocals, electric and acoustic guitars and keyboards. Rüst on bass, acoustic guitar, vocals, and percussion. Scud on drums and vocals. And Geist on electric guitars. So MP used to be in a band called Professor Emeritus. No relation to Papa Emeritus that I'm aware of. And they actually released they released their debut in 2017, but they also released an album earlier this year, which is their second album. Then he left in 2019 to form Fer de Lance. I remember hearing about Fer de Lance. It may have been 2022. I think I actually heard about them mainly because they had a girl in the band called Mandy Martillo. She only showed up for that Hyperborean, and she just did backing vocals and acoustic guitar. And I'm a huge fan of Mandy Martillo. She sings in a band called Midnight Dice. And if you're a fan of female fronted vocals, especially, if not, you should still check out the EP Hypnotized from 2021, I believe. But I think she's gone back to Midnight Dice full time, which is good because she was wholly underutilized by Fer de Lance on Hyperborean. She's got a great set of pipes, so she definitely needs to be fronting her own band. So hopefully they put out something soon here. But Rüst, who is on bass, he was also in Midnight Dice. He's also now in another band called Hitter. And Midnight Dice and Hitter put out a split EP together. So anyway, enough with the background information. Your first track is the title track, Fires on the Mountainside. There's been some people who have commented that they thought that it was a mistake for them to open the album with this track because it's 13 minutes long. I wholly disagree. I think it is. I mean, the song is so epic, and I mean, it just sets the tone for the whole album. And it doesn't seem like it's a 13-minute track at all. There's so many chord changes in it, so many tempo changes in it, so many atmosphere changes in it. It doesn't seem forced. None of these changes seem forced. But it's just an epic track. It starts off, you get some atmospheric keys and acoustic guitar, and then there's some chanting going in there. And already you're starting to feel like this kind of sounds like Conan the Barbarian, Middle-earth type soundtrack, actually. Very epic. the song kicks in, you get the fist pumping going, but this isn't the epic power metal where it's like rah rah, yay, power metal. This is like marching off to war. Like I said, bombastic drums, tasty guitar solos. You even get, speaking of the chord changes and the tempo changes, about halfway through the song, you get like a 30 seconds where it goes into full on black metal mode, a la Bathory, Blood, Fire, Death. And then immediately out of that, it goes into like 75 seconds of Viking metal, a la Hammerheart. And like I said, these chord changes, tempo changes, they do not seem or come across as forced at all. They flow beautifully with the song. And out of that Viking metal, Hammerheart, then it goes into full-on epic power metal mode. You get layered vocals, layered guitar, layered keyboards, and then it fades out with some acoustic guitar and the fire crackling on the mountainside. So, great track. One of my favorite songs of the year, which is saying something considering that it's 13 minutes long, because I can easily get bored or distracted in a song that long, but like I said, it did not happen in that song. That song does not feel like it's 13 minutes long. Your next track is called Ravens Fly, Dreams of Daedalus. If you don't know who Daedalus is, that is Icarus's father, as in Flight of Icarus. Hard charging riff on this one. Even though it's called Ravens Fly, you get when the riff is going, you can picture a group of messengers in Middle Earth racing across the plains. It's got a real swashbuckling verse to it. There's even an Yngwie style guitar solo in it. Keys, drums, vocals, all soaring, all working towards this grandiose climax. Your next track is called Death Thrives, Where Walls Divide. This is a slower number, kind of a slower marching number. It's got a Middle Eastern flair with the guitar and the guitar soloing. Lots of layered vocals in this, which there's lots of layered vocals in the album, period. I think most of them are MP singing in sometimes a lower register, sometimes a higher register. His lower register can get pretty gritty. His higher register doesn't reach Rob Halford heights, but it gets up there. Those are sometimes layered over the top of each other. There are two other guys in the band that are credited with backing vocals, so I think their backing vocals are mixed in there too. So your next track is called Fire and Gold. More Middle Eastern type percussion and acoustic guitar before going into these galloping drums. There's lots of, I don't know if you want to call it monk style chanting, pirate style chanting, Viking Orman style chanting. Lots of that in the album. Lots of that here. Another epic vocal delivery on this one. Pretty quick. This one's only 4 minutes. Shortest song on the album. Your next one's called The Feast of Echoes. You get kind of some Deep Purple style keyboards in here, but very epic sounding. I know I keep using epic, but they are an epic heavy metal band. Another monumental vocal delivery from MP. The guy really has a great voice. You can, when he's singing this song, you can picture him at the front of a longboat crashing through the waves heading for shore to do battle with some Saxons or something. Children of the Sky and Seas, your next album. Nice guitar intro. This is your most straightforward tune as far as just a typical heavy metal track goes, until you get to like maybe just past the halfway mark, and it goes in this kind of pseudo mandolin type breakdown, and then it kicks into overdrive, and you get more of the grandiose vocals, guitars, and drums for the outro. Then your last track is called Temple Steely. Um, a Stele is, well, I'll just tell you, the Tempest Stele actually refers to something specific. It is a stone monument that was erected by an Egyptian pharaoh around 1600 BC, and it detailed this massive, whether it's a weather system or earthquake, volcano, simultaneous. It was a catastrophic weather event, and it was detailed on this stone that was named Tempest Stele. It's another epic intro. Lots of the Viking longboat oarmen, vocalizations, drums, acoustic guitar. Very few lines of actual lyrics in the song, but just another really grandiose track. So yeah, this is really well done. The Hyperborean, I got it. I don't remember being that overly impressed with it, although people continually reference it as being great. Some of them even say that it's more adventurous than this one, and this one is more stripped down. I don't remember that at all, so I'm definitely going to have to go revisit it. Maybe I was disappointed with the Hyperborean because Mandy Martillo wasn't featured more. You know, I was hoping maybe more for like a reverse situation of Marco and Tarja and Nightwish, and she wasn't really utilized that much, so maybe a disappointment, and that led to a clouded perception of that album. But I knew that she was not on this album, so maybe that freed my mind up, because I'm going to give this 8.5 out of 10 easily. Some people call it epic heavy metal / doom metal. I don't think there's that much doom in here, but it is very epic as far as in the heavy metal. Yeah, I constantly had this feeling like, I think originally there was supposed to be a third Conan called Conan the Conqueror, and they scrapped that and went with Red Sonja. This could have been the soundtrack to Conan the Conqueror. So Fer de Lance, Fires on the Mountainside, 8.5 out of 10. All right, you guys have a good one.